I'm Maya, and this is Erle, and this is our floating home.
We've been here for a decade more, renovated it top to bottom, flipped it upside down, and made it look like a boat. To make something look like a boat, you need to develop rake. So you'll see how high it is there, to height there, to height there. I've got rake the whole way up from that point, giving me this look that I wanted. I wanted hawser holes where you would drop anchor rod. I didn't quite get it. At least it doesn't look like eyes and a nose. Eventually, I want to get a dragon bowsprit on there. I'm a licensed carpenter. When you're used to building things, only advancing yourself is stimulating. So you start out building squares, right? And then you go putting angles on them, right? And then the angles are boring, right? Now you need to get curves, right? Then you get curves on angles, right? Then you get compound curves on compound angles. And if you just look at the detailing all around, it's all compounded up. Everything is angles and curves trying to minimize the wind, gravity when you flip back and forth. Look at the front of the house here. You'll see I've got the big styrofoam pontoons down. These things are 4 feet by 3 feet, and they go full length, okay? What you get outside of that are full length logs, okay? And what the logs do for me is they stabilize me. When the wind pushes the float home over, this log begins to weigh less because it's displacing more water. This log begins to weigh more because it's displacing less water, and those physics counterbalance the wind. By having 2 heavy logs on the very outsides, maximum amount of twist, you physically stabilize the whole place. I'm experimenting right now with solar cells. I got my first battery, got a little fuse board here, got inverters, learning all the terminology. I'm not really a solar guy, I'm just figuring it out. Eventually, I'll have a bank of these and we'll be semi-off-grid. Key thing is a place to clean up like a mudroom, you know. This cedar was original cedar on the float home. We took it off, turned it around, and put it back on. So this cedar was cut probably 50 years ago. Okay, this is new cedar that I got within the last couple of years, as close as I could get to match. Eventually, it'll go gray. The most important thing for me, being an efficiency guy, the bottom 10% of the propane does not have enough pressure to work the water heater. So my lower system is strictly for the hot water tank. They're hooked up together so that you will never get cold water in the shower. As soon as this one tank does not have enough propane, this one's kicking in. Consuming the last 10% happens up in this section here, which services the heater, the stove, the barbecue. We'll bleed tanks dry on that system before we take them in for refilling. I've got a valve here to join them. So I've thought through the contingencies, all the scenarios you could go through, and it's easy to plumb it up. The water heater and the stoves, maybe $25, $30 a month at the most. It's different summer to winter with the heater working.
This video is sponsored by Nootopia. Everyone is looking for something that will give them an edge, and nootropics are a way to get that edge. Nootropics are supplements specifically designed to help you focus more intensely, block out distractions, enhance your creativity, and a whole lot more. And the best part is these formulas have a full 1-year guarantee, so there's 0 risk for you to try it out. Get 10% off your nootropics today by going to the link in the description and going to nootopia.com/FLORB and use code FLORB10 for 10% off your cognitive enhancing supplements. And remember to subscribe.
I opened up a branch office for our engineering firm, doing 3 weeks on working here and 1 week off back in Ontario. A couple years of back and forth, but then a buddy of mine, he had a boat and we're touring out around the Delta and whatnot, and we go by this floating home community and I'm like, what is that? He's like, it's a float home community. I'm like, oh, neat. So I started at that point to look for a fixer-upper, and that's virtually what I bought. This was the galley kitchen here, and upstairs there was a little spare bedroom kind of thing, and then the master bedroom up here, and then the deck. One of the issues that we had with the old design was to have a dinner party out on the deck, you had to prepare the food in the galley, up a set of suicide spiral stairs, past the bed, and out onto the deck. That's how entertaining on the deck went. It's quite hot on the second story versus the first story. So in the summer, it's hot to sleep up here. 10 degrees cooler downstairs. you're 2 feet off the water. And about 10 years ago, I decided to flip it upside down and take everything that was on the main floor and put it to the upstairs floor, brought as much as we could forward with it, made use of it. Not every detail was ironed out in my head before I started. I just went on faith. And the floating home isn't like a regular house. Right, a regular house, you might get an earthquake moving, some tremors moving something. We bottom out, we got winds, we crash, we bang. Things happen here.
Every piece of furniture in this house was bought used through Marketplace. All the built-ins, of course, were bought new, but all the desks, all the couches, even the round bench upstairs. As soon as I saw it, I instantly knew it was going to fit.
Float home, the whole works, about $250,000. I want to live here without having to do any maintenance for a decade or two. This was done for me. This wasn't done to sell. This is for us. This is where and how we want to live. This would be the main vestibule. We call this our Harry Potter closet. Under the stairs, holds all the coats and things. You see the dehumidifier? A dehumidifier consumes 1,000 watts of electricity. So that's 1,000 watts of heat coming into the house. It's plumbed up into my ducted system through the house, so the dry, warm air is already going through the entire house. We use this mostly when it's 10, 15 degrees outside and raining. And it's humid, we want to get rid of the humidity, but it's not cold enough to turn any of the heaters on to do it. This does that. It delivers heat onto each window as they do, but special for a float home, I've ducted the closets. Warm air, dry air is introduced to there first and can never go stagnant. Coming in through here, we call this our bunk bedroom. We got a couple of bunks in there, portholes, we've got TVs in them, we've got everything in here, and these are for our children. Looking up, there's storage everywhere. Everything is storage. This bunk bedroom was where the galley was, and the bathroom head's always been where it is. We decided we did not want glass and we didn't want curbs. So we have a bathtubed bathroom. You can clean this thing with a pressure washer. We did marble floor, the ceramics around, our on-demand water heater, and I fill the hot tub with it. It's a most fantastic thing. Next big thing in here is this dryer. This is a condensing coil dryer, right? So there's no exhaust on it. This thing heats the house to a degree, and it's not adding humid air to the house. It's condensing the water out of the air, and then the heat is blowing out past it. So you're not wasting any electricity while it's working, it's heating the house. Next, we get into the master bedroom. Working area, closets, storage up. You know, you go to IKEA and you have to design up to make it fit like here. We just did, standard 2 closet like that, and then customized the rest of it, right? This one here, we just did the standard closet and then built in a gable at the back of it. In the back of this, I have got shoe racks. You don't waste any space anywhere. This floor is original pine. I love all wood. You can beat it up, ding it, and then just sand a little bit and recoat it and it's fixed. I love all wood. The most important thing about the master bedroom is that it leads to the hot tub. That is the most important thing. We've got this set up here so that eventually you could use the hot tub, come down to the swim deck, and dive off. That's kind of the plan. I'm not necessarily going to do it here, but you could, okay? You'll notice the curves. Everything's curves, everything's elliptical, everything's as you would find on a boat. The doors are fiberglass to withstand the weathering and give you privacy, okay? The curtains, did you see the curtains here? You can totally enclose the tub room across, and it's totally private in here for shenanigans. Okay, I think that looks after the main floor. So come on up. This was our latest renovation up here, opening this up. This here is a structural wall. That there is a structural wall. We're getting lateral support in that wall and these 2 bulkheads. That keeps the whole place from tipping over side to side. This floor is recycled fir. It used to be glue lamp beams cut into this planking, tongue and groove, and now it's being reused here. This was really tricky. This whole round part probably took me a year, and a year of my time is $100,000. Yeah, I would say, you know what? Yeah, that's what that cost. We have a propane, a marine Dickinson heater. This is a heater you would find in a sailboat. That leaves me available energy for a dryer and hot tub. They're all IKEA with the backs cut out of them. Every one of them has been modified. There is nothing that has not been modified. Our galley kitchen, I had to have the 2 dishwashers. I call them self-cleaning storage devices. You could have this one running, empty this one, and then more dishes can go into this one. I love them. I'm lazy. I just put my dirty dishes in there. The 3/4 room. If you don't have a spot for hanging out outside in the rain, you don't spend any time outside. We got a sitting bench that you can sleep on, and I have. Okay. This skylight here. Your normal skylight, you would build a curb up, glass that, right? And they only ever leak. So I did a reverse skylight here, where what catches the water is right here, and the hole is above it. This catches all that rainwater from here, runs it off. This is loaded up with planters and flowers, and we're gonna start to get into some vegetables. Got a little marine propane barbecue, suits their needs. But this is our second favorite room. Know the difference between symptoms and diseases. Yeah, we have to fix the symptom, like the bricks are rotting out, but the why the bricks are rotting out is the larger question. I use Sherlock Holmes methodology, and what it is you design tests and things to, is it leaking now or not? Is it breaking now or not? Right? Definitive tests to determine what's really happening. Eliminate the impossible, and whatever's left, however improbable, is it.
Everyone is looking for something that will give them an edge, and nootropics are a way to get that edge. Nootropics are supplements specifically designed to help you focus more intensely, block out distractions, enhance your creativity, and a whole lot more. Bioptimizers has pioneered a number of safe and effective nootropic formulas. You'll be amazed at how quickly they work. You'll feel the effects within 15 to 30 minutes. These nootropics by Bioptimizers are formulated by one of the most advanced brain chemists and nootropic formulators around today. Every nootropics formula is customized to you based on your strength, weaknesses, and goals. And the best part is these formulas have a full 1-year guarantee, so there's zero risk for you to try it out. So here's the deal. If you felt held back, either personally or professionally, then you owe it to yourself to try out Bioptimizer's nootropic formulas. Get 10% off your nootropics today by going to the link in the description and going to nootopia.com/FLORB and use code FLORB10 for 10% off your cognitive enhancing supplements, your nootropics, today, and feel the increase in focus. Thank you for watching. Have a great week.